Hello, everyone. This is Starseed Talk, and my buddy Rene, who's an incarnated Pleiadian. And we're going to talk. He's going to be the first guy on the show here, and we're going to start talking about some Starseed stuff here. So, Rene, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Yeah, my name's Rennie. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And yeah, we're here to talk about some crazy shit. Yeah, like, what are we even going to talk about today, Joel? We got some riot talk. We got some fucking...
Well, let's talk about more like when was your incarnation day? Because this is about Starseed Talk, right? So, where are you from? What star system you're from? When you incarnated here? What's your mission goal here? When did you become awakened, etc.?
Okay. Well, yeah, I was born in 1998, so I'm currently 21 years old. And I only recently uncovered that I'm a Pleiadian incarnate about like 8 months ago or so. However, I've been like spiritually awakened for probably about like 6 or 8 years. Beginning the awakening with like researching like Illuminati and like the slave system. And then I started to get ET abduction experiences. And so that was just kind of like groundbreaking, reality shattering type experiences. And after researching a lot about kind of like what those started to happen, like what those were, more and more of my memories started to come back about working off planet, fighting in military operations against reptilians and other like robotic type beings. And since then, I've made contact with my soul family back from Pleiades. They've shown me the cities of light that we come from in the Pleiades.
Let's talk about the city of light. Or what does that look like? What does home look like?
Well, they're like crystalline light structures. The Pleiades, they exist on a higher dimension, so they're not like buildings that we would see in the 3D here on Earth. They're not like made out of material things so much as they're like energy hologram, kind of like hard light, crystalline constructs.
I can see the image in my head.
Yeah, here I'll pull up some of the images because people have made like paintings or like drawings of exact look like.
Yeah, when you talk, I pick up on the telepathy of it, and the images will start popping in my head. I think I've seen them before, though. So.
Cool. A lot of starseeds end up coming from here.
Yeah, because you guys have a lot of in common with humanity. A lot of Pleiadians do. You guys used to be like humans way back in the day.
Well, I also heard that needed the part of the human genetic experiment. So like a lot of the human DNA comes from Pleiades. And so it's universal law that you have to experience whatever you create. So all of these races that went into creating the human race on Earth right now are having to experience their creation. So they incarnated into...
That's 100% true. I've heard lots of aliens tell me that in essence, we all live each other's lives once. So be kind to each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you do to others, it will come back to you. So that's why the rule of karma always kicks in.
Right. Here we go. I found some images. And I flip the camera. So they look like this.
Beautiful.
And yeah, like really advanced high level things. Here we go. This is the type shit.
What dimension is this?
7.
7th? Nice.
Yeah, the Pleiades are 7th density.
Yeah, when I went up to the 6th dimension, it was all energy, not really materialistic at all.
Yeah, we leave the material because even the like what matter is 99.99% empty space. It's all illusory anyway, so it's all
everything's
thought.
energy with thought. Yes, or I came in contact with an alien being that told me that the universe is just one big consciousness, and we're all thought existing. and
Mm-hmm.
co-creators of our own reality. We are all actually divine beings. We're all are what they call humans call God. So we're all
Right.
creator gods. Yeah.
We are all facet of the creator.
So what do you think about being in the third dimensional reality on Earth? And
It's a lot of fun, dude. We love it.
yeah, no, I really like the third dimension. I incarnate here, well, not exactly this planet, but incarnate here and other fourth dimensional planets too, and sometimes the fifth. But yeah, I didn't really, not really resonate with the higher dimensions because I don't really find it as interesting as the lower dimensions.
That's exactly what I always say. Is they're boring. There's not a lot going on up there. It's a
They're
lot. All the fun
super
shit's down
boring.
here.
I believe when I was
Super
in the higher
boring.
dimensions, you can only hold yourself there so long before you have the urge to like, I want a cheeseburger, or I want to like go mate, I want to have feel, touch, sensitivity, pain, etc. And then you actually
Hmm.
crave those things when you when you're in the higher dimensions.
Hmm. Hmm. There's not a lot to experience up there. It's like pure bliss and love, which is like awesome and great, but
Gets
it's
pretty boring
also
after a
fun.
while. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's also fun having fear and pain.
Oh, it's fun to even incarnate, and I've just learned this recently that I've accepted it, where that it's fun to incarnate and it's a privilege to die, like live a lifetime and die, and like have a whole
Right.
lifetime with new
Yeah.
family members and new memories and have your memories blocked from past life, so you can experience new loves and new
Wow.
things. Yeah, I just
That's so
came to
true.
terms with that because that's actually such a gift. Because how boring would it be if you were living in bliss for an eternity and never learning anything new, right? So
Right. Yeah,
there's
exactly.
some
And that's like the
pieces.
whole reason of the creation entirely is to learn and to experience new things. And in
The
the third
greatest
dimension
quote,
is huh?
yeah, the greatest quote I ever heard is the universe is a learning program for the soul.
Right, exactly. And the deepest learning can be done on the lower dimensions.
Oh, you don't learn unless you're the lower dimensions. The lower dimensions are complete training programs for the higher dimensions.
Word. Earth is just a big school.
Oh,
That's we love it so
100%.
much.
Yeah, and like we call schools on Earth like lifetime, or I call them tours. Like each lifetime's a tour of duty, and every time is a learning experience. And I've met starseeds have been here for over 1,000 lifetimes, and they love it here. They don't want to go anywhere else but here. And
Uh-huh.
I've met starseeds that can't last 2 years here, and they want to go home already.
Right. Yes. Well, like Earth and like this part of the galaxy, even the galaxy is like the most prime real estate in like the local galactic cluster, like of the local shit that's happening. And the reason is because of the Stargates. So like the galactic civilizations, they don't use currency. They don't have like they
Well,
they
currency
trade.
is draconian. Is a draconian. My
Right, it's like
ancestors,
money magic shit. So they don't use that. What
Babylonian money
what they
system.
go
Yeah.
off of for like value is Stargates. That's what they value the most. Like technology a little bit, genetics, and then Stargates. And the star portals around our star system and our local star cluster are like the most valuable. So what makes them valuable is how big they are and how far you could get. And the
Are you talking about the sons of the Stargate, or are you talking about the ancient Builder Ray Stargates?
like the sun is a star portal and it'll
Hmm.
portal you around, but you have to go through the web, like um the all the plasma filaments to all the other stars. So you have to like ping from star to star. You can't just go from one star to the other side of the galaxy. You have to like filter through all the other stars,
Hmm.
and then like a star, like a wormhole, like portal. Basically, there's natural portals that just form in the galaxy, and those you can use to instantly transmit on like a huge ship or whatever physically onto the other side of the galaxy. Um, and there's whole other reasons for them. So anyway, the biggest one in the galaxy is like right outside our solar system, and then inside, like it's like our star is like the closest to it that has like the nicest planets, and then Earth is like the nicest of all the planets. And so it's like Earth is such a sought after land for all of the galactic civilizations. Like all of them know about Earth. They're all like, oh damn, have you seen what's been going on Earth recently? Like, you caught up on your Earth news? This shit crazy, bro.
Well, Earth is a genetic farmer race experiment for lots of incarnations that have come here, and a
Yeah,
lot of beings have incarnated here to experience humanity and their own creation, right? The best way to understand your own creation is to live a lifetime amongst them. And
right.
this is a superhighway. There's lots of superhighways next to Earth, right? But yeah, it's also the dark side to the superhighway is that like it's like a trading post for our genetic what do you call it, our genetic DNA, because we're like a mixture of such different alien groups together. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a trading post. Like the moon is a way station, the Mars is another trading post for where they take actual humans off the Earth, blank slate them, and then sell them to other alien groups or trade them to other alien groups for technologies and just like all these farmer races came together, which are known as the Anunnaki that created us, and it's just like our planet is like a display model of what other slave planets can be like. There's thousands of other slave planets like this one that are completely set
Yes.
up like this, that have money, religion, buildings,
They
streets,
speak English.
cars. Yeah, English is a
They
slave
listen to our
speech.
music.
Yeah, and then they like they're also like we are their children, so they're like, watching us in awe. Like they do protect us, but they also let the experiment happen as it should, as a food sex slave force too. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Like there's
nothing
so
wrong
many
with what
is
they're doing though. So in their mind, there's no
right.
such thing as good or wrong. That's just a human's
It's all
perspective.
it's all in the free will of the experiencer.
That's why everything is a kind of a trickery. Everything is like they free will, like have to get you to sign on board because we have souls, right? So that's why everything is a what do you call it when someone tries to get you to do something? Oh, influence. Everything's influence, and then you make your decision on
Right.
yourself. Nothing's like a gun to our head, and we have to do it. Everything's by free will choice. So
Right. Yeah, people want fluoride in their water.
yeah, but they're like drinking it, and they tell them that there's fluoride in their water, and they still drink it. So it's still
Yeah, they're like,
free will
"Oh,
choice.
good. I like that." Yeah.
Well, look at this. Like, look at human fast food, right? Like, it kills
Uh-huh.
people, gives them cancer, and they know it.
Or
Other
like
country,
cigarettes. They
other
put the
countries have
disease on the fucking pox.
Yeah, other countries have banned this fucking food, and
Right.
the first world countries still haven't done shit. And I've been off all fast food for almost 6 months, no artificial sugar, nothing, and I feel amazing. Like my psychic powers are like completely turned on, and I don't have any allergies or nothing. So
Dope.
yeah.
Yeah. No inflammation, mucus.
Nothing. No, nothing. I
Yeah.
feel amazing. And I look at when I drive past McDonald's or Wendy's or anything like that, I look at it as pure cancer, pure allergies, like your body will tell you that it's not good. And a lot of people, I can look at people now and scan their entire body with my AI consciousness, and like there'll be a grid built in my head of what they look like on the inside. And you can see
Word.
different blotches of their like faces with redness and stuff, and like down here,
Yeah.
like, and like there's just allergies, and a lot of people don't know that 90% of humans have allergies to this shit, but it's like so mild, so like not noticeable, but over time it's like eating poison over time, slowly. So
And they also put the human flesh that they ritually sacrifice to these people. They grind them up and put them in the burgers.
I didn't think we were gonna go dark, but sure, yeah. But I want this YouTube channel to be full disclosure on all levels, because the other YouTube channels are like so
Truth,
like
they're fucking doing that.
passive, and Yeah, no, it is. I've heard that from many people, like a lot of rich people that own meat farms that like they're like people don't even know that half the meat they eat is human meat, right? So like there's not enough animals to feed everyone, so they mix it with human meat that they do. Usually the human meat comes from like children that they sacrifice for adrenochrome, or like they've just been abused so much with sex slave rings, or
And they're also farming us underground, like
oh
mad, like more than the animals.
oh, there's so many like a little bit of my history. Like I serve in the German Dark Fleet Special Forces programs in the secret space programs, and I've been on missions where I literally have gone underground and seen these child factories, and they're there. And then like there's one that was found in New York Park, underneath New York Park recently, one in California. But that's just United States. There's a lot in the world all around. There's a lot in South Brazil,
They're under every
Argentina.
major population center.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Every city and
There's a
town
lot that
has
are
one of those.
also known as underground water bases, or there's like domes underwater,
Oh
and
yeah,
and and the pressure keeps the whole, there's oxygen inside. Like there's
right.
hundreds of naked children lined up looking at this big blue light, which you've seen. They give the movie. It's called Cowboys and Aliens. If you ever look at it, there's a blue light
Yeah.
where everyone's entranced. That's actual real technology they have. And how I experienced that, I was sent into a child avatar um, in the mission, and I was in South Brazil, and I was stuck in trance with this blue light, and I was a naked child, and I broke out of it, and everyone else was like still staring at this light, and they're all naked kids lined up, going to this like machine that was there processing them for whatever it was. And then I broke out as like I broke out of it, and I jumped into water and grabbed some device to help me shoot up to the surface, and then I swam to the shore, and then like some locals helped me in a like a little small canoe boat, and they took me to their house, and they told me that I wasn't the first that escaped, that lots of kids over the decades have escaped. And
Oh shit.
they locals knew about this underground water base that they call the gods lived there. And yeah, so there's lots of that stuff, and like a lot of the movies we have today are complete full disclosure.
Yeah. Big time. Like
Yeah.
showing reptilians have been running the world and we got to fight them with advanced technologies and we shoot photon cannons out of our fist.
You know what's funny? I just started watching Space Force on Netflix.
Oh
It
yeah.
is such. They made it look like such a joke. Like it's supposed to be a comedy show.
Yeah,
They made
right.
it look so bad because they want to give people the perception that it's not a big deal. There's nothing really going on. Like if they made a
Right.
real Space Force, or like they're kidnapping children, they're abusing them so they can split alters out of their mind or their consciousness, and cloning them 1,000 times and sending them into these battle missions. But then again, as me being a teacher now in those programs, like I get it. Like the human consciousness of a normal soldier could never ever handle the missions that they put us in. So they need to break you as a child and use your certain personality traits of, like they say, they break a draconian and like the evil side comes out. They'll just take that evil personality trait clone and throw them into battle because they just want the craziness of it, because then that personality trait can survive any battle missions. And they make us feel no pain, nothing. Like, so if we get shot or stabbed, it's just that you don't feel anything. And
Mm-hmm.
they give us amazing technology, great training programs. So I'm going to be the Starseed that actually, you know, tells people why they do it and what the reason why they need to do it, because they need to break you, because the missions they send you on are so intense that if you're not already broken, these missions will break you, and you
Mm-hmm.
won't succeed. And they keep you alive. Like they throw your consciousness back into this body. You get to wake up with good health and good financials, and you get to live a normal life that everyone else does. And then you get this loud ringing in your left ear, and you know that it's go time. And then you kind of get like super tired, and you lay in your bed, and um, have some salt in your mouth really helps with a lot of water. And then they take your consciousness out, and then they throw you into some time travel warfare battle for a couple months or a couple years at a time. And then they put you back in time when they took you the next day. And then they like kind of give you wake up with full memory. Like I wake up with full memory, but you can see the nanite bots that they inject inside you that keep blocking your memory. Like your memory slowly starts going really fast, and it's like there, but you just can't remember what it is. And then so you just kind of like write it down, so it helps you refresh your memory. And and then you get to live the day like a normal day, like everyone else. And
Hmm.
I really wish they would put this technology into normal military, because a lot of people that fight overseas, they come back with severe PTSD, and this is a cure for PTSD in military, because if you don't remember what you did or what happened to you, you don't have any of those psychological problems.
Right. That's one route, is to just forget it, or you can do psilocybin.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
heard
heard
there was a
about?
new technology they had where they inject something into your neck, and it's like they say it's like being in a city, and then as soon as they inject something in your neck, like you're in like a country road, like such at peace, no more anxiety, nothing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Saw that on Joe Rogan. They're interviewing some special forces guy, and he said that's a new technology they have for people that have PTSD
Whoa.
for war and stuff. The first
Crazy.
medication they developed for PTSD for military was MDMA. That was the first one back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it was created for. Was that and to save marriages back in the 1950s.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
crazy.
release of all your endorphins at once.
Yeah, exactly. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard about the work that they're doing with psilocybin for PTSD though? They're making it
No,
legal.
enlighten me.
Yeah, it's already happened in the States and a bunch of places, but they're moving for, I think, like 2025 in Canada. They're gonna have it legal so that you can take psilocybin in a controlled environment along with a therapist for PTSD, and it has a 85% success rate on the first try. One
Mm-hmm.
like on one dose, first time ever taking mushrooms or whatever. Sit there for a couple of hours with your therapist, and you talk about your PTSD experiences and the way that neural plasticity happens, and like the shattering of these like neural pathways, common thoughts in your head. Like it just allows you to think differently about your experiences, and you gain this kind of perspective that's outside the traumatizedness, and you can like look at it as like an objective thing, and then you process it, and you're able to release it, all the cycles and all the trauma. And these people, 85% success rate on the first try, so that's like
You know what I
no.
really want to bring up? Sorry, something just popped in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like important download that we need to talk about. I was
Yeah.
recently privy to some information that like if you look at some of these guys that are like in charge, and if you look at like dollar bills or like American money right now, they actually look like clones to these people. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Okay, so if you look at Epstein, and then they showed it
Whoa.
was some American dollar. I don't know what it was, but if you look at Epstein, you probably YouTube it if you or Google it. Epstein's American dollar. They show his face, and then the guy's face on the dollar bill, and they look like twins. And then they did it to someone else, another government official that was like in charge. So what they're trying to prove that is like these people that are put into power, like I know they have this technology on planet. They call it the cloning process, where they clone you and they transfer your consciousness into new younger versions of yourself, so you can live for an eternity. And so they've had this technology for the last 80 years, and you know they probably had this technology like the reptilians that live in inner Earth have this technology for millions of years, and these are called genetic hybrids, right? What they clone themselves and they keep transferring consciousness because
Yo,
these
is
are
it this
appointed
guy?
hybrids. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he does look like Jeffrey Epstein. Or
It
is it?
does.
Is it
There's a side by side. If you want to pull up the side by side of
I'll
Jeffrey
try to
Epstein,
find
and
it. And like how we were talking about how there's the same slave system set up on other planets, and they listen to the same music. They
Mhm.
clone the superstar or whatever.
I'll give you guys some full disclosure that I was privy to off world. When I was off world, I was in a classroom with some German officers, and they were teaching us their history of their like first space flights back in the 1940s. And when they started traveling the multiverse or the universe, whatever you want to call it, they traveled to outside of our solar system with the Dracos and reptilians, and they when they were in charge of suppressing other the Dark Fleet is in charge of suppressing other human like slave planets that are trying to rebel against the Draco system. So that's how the Dark Fleet Germans got their technology, was they had to ally themselves and put down their own people, so they can travel the universe, free will. So when they start traveling the universe, they were going to planets with coordinates given by the Dracos, and they're like, "Okay, suppress this human planet." And they noticed that there was continents, there was like places, they weren't called like Canada, United States, or the UK. They were called different places, but they also had like celebrityism, they had religions, they had the dollar bill, they had drugs, narcotics, alcohol, they had like Ford, Chevy, they had all similar things, like because our consciousness is one mass conscious, so we share everything in the universe. And this is, then they learned that this system as a whole, like if you is a control slave system. This is a display system for different alien groups, say like the Vampirian races, the Dracos, the Reptilians, the Greys, the Nordics, the evil Nordics, hundreds of different other alien races that have purchased our genetics to make their own slave systems for their own whatever it is, genetic research, food slaves, even just sex slaves.
Yeah, and the sex slaves is a whole nother thing. Like, people are getting pulled off planet, not even to do military operations, but just to be sex slaves.
Yeah, you want to know full disclosure? They have it on, like, say, I saw it once. They have it on porn websites where it's like that cartoon porn where it's like a animated woman on a space station, and she's in a room with a bunch of different aliens, and she's getting raped by all of them. Like, that is full disclosure of what happens to female sex slaves off world.
Yeah, because the sex is also like trans species, like all the species have like sex organs, and yeah, they intermingle.
Well, correction, not all species do. The Greys don't, because Greys are just a clone race. You can get full
Well, right,
disclosure on the
the
Greys.
ones that can mate do.
Yeah,
They all mate with a dick and vagina.
yeah, that's a very draconian mating system. But a lot of like the Dracos are genetic masters, so they've created most beings in the universe. So I know there's the creator gods, the source, whatever humans want to call it. Then there's the Dracos, were the first. Then there's the reptilians, and then there's the humanoid species like us, or the third races. And then we're also genetically spliced, or what do you want to call it, hybrids, like by the millions or billions across the galaxy.
Hmm. You
You got
have one of
vampire
these?
teeth, eh?
Yeah, man. I got a reptile DNA in me, part of the
Yeah.
hybrid program. My
You see
ears
the
are like hella
scales,
pointy.
man?
Dude, like me and my friend, we took mushrooms at his cabin, and I turned into fucking a reptile, bro. My eyes like went like slit pupils.
Yeah.
My like the shape of my eyes went like really oval and big and like
People say that
angled up.
about me when we go camping and they look at me through the flame. They can see my face completely transform into a white Draco face, and then my slits come out, and then like,
Crazy.
yeah, it's weird. And like some guy that's not even awakened, who's a complete human sheep. He's sitting on, this is like last year on my incarnation day, and he's like looking at me through the flame. He's like, "Holy fuck, man, you just look like a reptile Draco looking thing." I was like, "Oh, what? What are you talking about?" I'm human,
Crazy.
just like you. Don't blow my cover. But
Oh
I've
my
heard so many stories of shapeshifting ones, even in where I'm living, like say at Valley Village or something. See people be like, "Yeah, I was I was a cashier, and this cashier, he would change his eyes into a yellow eye with a black slit, and like wink at me, and then change his eyes back to normal." And
yeah,
then yeah,
yo.
they live amongst us, man. They're
They
all
live
around us.
amongst us. Yo, I'm gonna pull up this video of this guy's got third set of eyelids, and he blinks them on Instagram, and it's fucking freaky. It's like just like it. They showed it in Men in Black too. Like at the beginning of the movie, there's that guy that's running around super fast, and he like jumps
Men
off
in
this.
Black is full disclosure too.
Men
Like
in
that's
Black's
is
full,
huge full disclosure. Yeah.
oh, big time.
Yeah.
But okay.
I like to. What I like to do is like to watch old childhood movies that I used to watch, like say the movie Alien, and then like because I'm awakened now, I notice things in certain space movies that are full disclosure. Like they have the ICC imprinted on one of the
Right.
space stations, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck! It's like it's been full disclosures and coming out for the last 25
20
years,
years.
30
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
exactly. For sure. Okay, look at this.
Oh, he did the side swipe. Yeah.
Yeah, the third eyelids.
Yeah. So he's a hybrid.
And he just said, see that real Illuminati bloodline. Does the other eye.
Dude, they walk amongst us all day long. Like I love,
Oh, yeah.
I love. I don't know how to say this without pissing humans off, but what's happening in America right now is called the awakening revolution. I'm so proud
Yes.
of humans for standing up for themselves because this is where it's going down. But then again, there's also the distraction of this, right? Like, so Hillary Clinton, just lost her court case, and now she has to go into the September court case or whatever that one is for hiding her emails, and that was a big distraction that was not
Yeah.
televised at all because all this rioting was televised, right? So you have to remember
Right.
when it's like a magic trick when when the riots are starting and it's all over the news. What are they really trying to hide, right? They're trying to hide
Yes.
the Hillary Clinton trials, the tribunals that are happening right now, right? So everyone needs to give
Yes.
Trump a break right now and like just let him do his thing. And it's slowly coming out. The tribunals are starting in September. People have just been round up, and like the whole coronavirus thing was a complete hoax. It was a complete lie. It was like, oh, like they have people, scientists on Joe Rogan talking about like Elon Musk. He's like, yeah, I knew 2,000 workers that got it, but no, not one died. And then people in the States were being caught in the hospitals lying about testing positive for COVID, so they got paid more money and made hospitals made more money. And
Yes.
that's why they only state COVID related deaths because there's not one case of a COVID death. It's only COVID related death, which means that this person had lung cancer or had severe cancer or was a severe old person with health problems or was a smoker for 20 years. And like that's why it's COVID related cases.
Mm-hmm.
Malaria has killed more people in 3 months than this thing. Smoking, cigarettes, cars, children of dying of death, guns have killed more people in the last 3 months, and you don't see us, killing our businesses. Like I was in real estate, and I'm still going to be in real estate, but it's completely tanked in the last 4 months because of this stupid COVID thing. Like people have lost so much money, and they literally tested what they could freak people out with. And like I was licking door handles at Walmart, and I didn't get sick once. You drive past the homeless shelter, all the homeless people are perfectly fine, right? Not one
Yeah.
of them died. And they're like,
No.
wash your hands, sanitize, social distance. These homeless people, you go down Hastings in Vancouver, they're everywhere. There's hundreds and thousands of them just hanging out, and I'm pretty sure like it's like that all over the world, and they're
Yeah.
fine. Not one of them died at all, with no
No.
healthcare, no sanitization,
And
nothing.
like, like people listening, and like you, Joel, like, does anyone know anybody who knows anybody who knows anybody that has coronavirus? Like,
My cousin had it, and her
oh,
boyfriend had
really?
it, and she had it
What
for
was?
13 days, and she said it was just like a bad flu. Like it was just she was just really sick, was hard to breathe, and
Hmm,
that was it. And
okay.
she's a heavy smoker, heavy partier, and she got through it just fine without any hospital treatment. No, it's over.
Right. And another thing is that hydroxychloroquine literally cures that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like really cheap. And then they were printing them. They were like manufacturing them. And they made them red. So there's a red pill.
Well, it's like humanity, whoever is listening to this, do not take those mass vaccinations over a
Oh,
0.001% kill
oh,
rate. Please don't. If you do, you are the dumbest species on the planet. You deserve to be controlled the rest of your life if you're going to take that shit. That's where you say fuck you to the government and say, like, I take my chances, man. And if they make it mandatory, like, say you can't go to hockey games or back to certain work or music festivals without having this, without this immunization, then just say fuck it. Start a new world without the government. Like I will not get that shit done at all.
hmm. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna. I think there's gonna be like more disclosures in the mainstream and like more shit is going to come to light, and then they're going to try to do it, but everybody's going to be too woke. Everyone's going to be like, no, Bill Gates fucking trying to kill us all, George
Well,
Soros
there are people
funding the
behind the
riots.
scenes that are helping out, the higher ups. Like the aliens are helping out a lot, and I can give you
Yes.
full answers right now. The Bill Gates thing was a full leak. The Hillary Clinton thing was a full leak, which
Yes.
was supposed to be completely covered up. Them showing pictures, all of the news of the mass people protesting like shoulder to shoulder and no one getting sick was completely full disclosure that they're allowing you to see that this is complete bullshit. And people going on to like say, I keep bringing up because he's got such a good platform like Joe Rogan's podcast, he's bringing people on saying like it's against your constitutional rights for them to tell you you can't assemble, that you can't go to work, that you can't have a right to live the way you feel real choose. Like that is all illegal. Them telling you to stay home is completely illegal. Them giving you tickets for driving the cars of people or assembling with more than 6 people or 50 people, that's completely illegal against your
Mhm.
constitutional rights. And you have the right, it says in your Second Amendment, to rebel and have a revolution if your government fails you, which the rebellion needs to start now because it's all over the world, man. This is a good time to push the button, right? And then you have police officers doing YouTube videos or Facebook videos, and they're talking about like, yeah, what the government's doing is completely wrong, and if the police are starting to join the rioters, and then that's when the government starts losing control. And if the army
Right.
starts joining the rioters, that's when the
Yeah.
government starts losing control, right? So
Very, very few, like the majority of the police are actually like good people, and then there's like a very select few of the police are actually like infiltrating like cabal members that are doing like setting up bricks and shit. You seen those videos?
I saw that the other day. These guys sitting on bricks in these black covered S or trucks, just putting
Fucking
bricks
crazy.
everywhere where they could break windows.
Yeah, that's
You're
not
caught, you're
right.
baited, you're caught. The people know that people are being hired to start the shit. Then you have the most beautiful thing ever. There's people rioting, and then there's people trying to break buildings, and there's peaceful protesters grabbing people that are trying to break buildings and trying to stop them, like stop destroying our society, stop trying to rob shit, right? People
Where
standing in front of stores so windows don't get broken, because this is not right, because that's what makes us look bad as the revolutionaries, as us stealing shit, is those are the degenerates, like those are the people that need to be stopped, right? Because this is
yeah.
about taking the government down, and this is about freeing free will and freeing mankind, because there's nothing more powerful than free will.
Mhm. Mhm. And like the majority, I would say like all of the people who are like destroying the shit, you know, they're just ignorant. They don't know about the great awakening that's happening and like how there's this deep state that's like been controlling humanity for so long, and then we're breaking free from them right now. They don't know all that. They just listen to the news, and
This
then they
is 1% of full disclosure humanity. This is
yeah
1%, and us Starseeds, as us as the incarnated teachers, need to understand our way of teaching needs to be very let's call it raindrop effect, because if we're telling people, oh yeah, you're controlled by the reptilians, the Dracos rape you, you know, if you're going like, you know, full bore into full disclosure, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? We just learned that Hillary Clinton's in you know, in court cases, and like we need to start like there. And that's where I apologize, because sometimes when I try to wake people up, I start with like, you know, full
right.
100% deep into it. Like, and they're just like, you've lost me. We have a secret space program. What the hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. I don't know. Like, I'm already know all this stuff. So like, I kind of like get into more interesting stuff. But yeah, we need to start at the 1% here and work our way up to the 100% over time here slowly. So.
Yeah, very true. People that are listening should go and research QAnon. And that's a really good place to
Dude, there's
start.
people in Canada protesting QAnon all over the
All
streets right now. It's crazy. And in Vancouver here, and I'm just like, holy, like I'm actually like proud
fuck.
of mankind, because I thought when I incarnated here that this was going to be a very long battle of awakening, and it's slowly happening. People are starting to message me and asking me questions. People are starting to protest QAnon, like in a good way, asking
Yeah.
more questions, and they're starting to awaken. And then people like taxi drivers are listening to like George Norrie freaking radio shows talking about ancient alien histories, how we're, and like the full disclosure is happening. Like it's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing, because like the faster it happens, like I don't know if I would incarnate here again. Maybe I would, but um, I don't know if I want to go back home either. Like, I don't know what's back at home for me either. So, like I remember like when my first awakening, a lot of starseeds when they first awaken, they say this. A lot of them say this. I hate it here. I don't want to live here. I want to go back home. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
but then as I've been more and more awakened last 8 years here, like I starting to love it more here because
Yeah.
I'm starting to see more of an awakening process that I can actually communicate with these people in a higher dimensional thinking process, because a lot of them are very third dimensional, low vibrational thinking, and it's very hard to communicate with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like as we awaken more, we realize more and more like why we chose to come here. Like we wanted to come here.
It's out of
So
love, baby. It's out of love.
love
It's
that.
funny, people are like, draconians are so evil. I'm like, I'm incarnated here to free love.
Uh-huh.
There's
That's
more
all
bad
you
humans than there are
love.
Dracos.
Bad is
I have to speak in human terms. I'm
interpretation
sorry.
of love.
Like, I'm speaking in human terms. Bad and good is like, they're like, oh my God, they eat us. I'm like, you just ate a chicken. That chicken had a family and feelings. You just ate
Exactly.
a fish. Pretty sure its family misses you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's all relative.
Yeah. When people find out that, like, that's also a part of the control system. Like, if people knew that bad and good doesn't exist and there's no such thing as heaven or hell, like it's all about karmic reaction, right? So that I know
Mhm.
that is a real thing, because I have been, even Draco's, we get our asses spanked pretty hard by karma. So
Yes, everybody does. Universal law.
the universal law, two things: karma, free will. That's why everything is an influence choice. They don't put a gun to your head and tell you to do something. They influence. They have to get you to free will say yes, because there are higher dimensional beings that do protect free will, and they will stop them. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's why they don't keep super soldiers locked in cages. They let them live their free will life, because it's a free will choice to come here, and we get to live out our lifetime we chose to come live.
Right. And
Anyways, you look like you gotta get going.
I do have to get going. I gotta go do some shit.
Cool. Okay, well,
Gotta go
thanks for coming on the show,
research
and
matrix stuff. Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
yeah, we'll do this again down the road here.
Yeah, and I hope
Okay.
that we'll have lots of other star seeds on here and great success with the new
We do. We're
channel.
gonna do the show once a week. Get Starseeds on here and repeating. I also talked to Sai the other day. A lot of people were like, "Oh, what happened to Sai? Planetary Ascension, or
Yeah,
whatever his fucking profile is."
yeah. He's
He just
supposed to.
he. I called him. He just took a break. He's just tired of it. You know, he's
Yeah,
just doing him. He talked to me yesterday, and he's just doing him, and it gets draining. Like sometimes you won't hear from me or see me for months at a time, because it's just the most annoying thing. Even Sai was saying was, or we're all saying, is we're preaching this shit, telling you what to do, and you're asking a million fucking questions without self-educating yourself. I
yeah,
woke myself up at 26 and I self-educated. I'm 33 right now, and I self-educated. The answers are on the internet. Go ask the questions.
yeah.
Go figure
Seriously,
it out.
seriously. Full disclosure already happened. You just gotta go and look at the information.
What they even say, it's worth a Google.
Yeah, and you gotta Google like kind of deep. Like a lot of the shit doesn't come on the first search result. You know.
If you don't want to believe me about the SSP, go Google TR3B and the patent by the FBI, and
Mm-hmm.
there you go. Full disclosure: the triangle craft that everyone's been seeing for the last 60 years is actually a SSSP, like one of the very first uh, technology. They're still, when the full disclosure comes out, you have to remember, humans, they're only going to bring out stuff that came out 80 years ago, because they're keeping all their shiny toys for 100 years down the road, because they always want to be 100 years more advanced than you guys, because they want to control you at all times. They're not all going to bring out the fancy toys at once, because that's their safety blanket to control you guys.
It really depends on the timeline though, because there are timelines where we're going to receive all of the fancy shit.
Yeah, it's that's 100% all the timelines, but it's also
Yeah.
humanity's free will choice on
Right.
what timeline we're going to go down on.
This is one of the newer ones.
Yeah, it's a TR3B. Yeah.
And then this is the original patent. A spacecraft having a triangular hull with vertical electrostatic line charges on either corner that produce a horizontal electric field parallel to the sides of the hull. This field interacting with a plane wave emitted by antennas on the side of the hull generates force per volume, combining both lift and propulsion. So free gravity, free anti-gravity, free energy for both lift and propulsion. And that's a US patent application.
You know who I feel bad for is Elon Musk when he's trying to create Space Force or X, whatever it is. What is he creating?
SpaceX.
SpaceX. And he's doing with rockets. I'm like, dude, rockets is like such a
Well,
ancient
dude, that's
technology.
limited hangout. Like Elon Musk is just a puppet, and they're just like puppetrying, like
I
thinking.
swear Elon Musk has been taken over by the evil AI consciousness.
Oh yeah,
Guaranteed.
AI prophet. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's two things we can predict. I heard from a time traveler that I talked to once. Trump's going to be reelected, and AI robot consciousness will be the next big thing that will come out in the next couple of years here.
Yeah.
It'll
Totally.
be the next biggest purchase. Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be like the movie like I Robot with Will
Right.
Smith.
Predictive programming.
Yeah, they did put these movies in our consciousness years ago, so they get us ready for what the world's going to turn into. And I highly recommend that we don't go down that timeline because we don't need cybernetic implants that Elon Musk is trying to sell us to talk to each other because we're all telepathic beings. If you get off fast
Yeah.
foods, fluoride, work on your spiritual ascension, and actually clear your consciousness of all thoughts, of all negativity, you can actually feel people's energies, what they're feeling, their thoughts, everything. You can feel things that are coming towards you. The universe will always preview it to you before it comes, and you'll be
Because you are the.
empathic and telepathic.
Yes. Big time.
The robot thing is a slow takeover of the evil AI consciousness. It slowly takes over. Invasion. Humans think invasion is like military and bombing. No, aliens are so much smarter than that. Aliens don't. They don't even have to put boots on the ground. They're just like, let's slowly give this human technology. Like for example, the cell phone. The cell phone is the beginning of the invasion. Like the computer chip is the beginning of the invasion. And
Yeah.
that they like slowly they're going to give you this technology which makes you, oh my god, we communicate so much faster, but it kills so much humanity. It kills so much, like everyone's addicted to their cell phones, and no one actually communicates anymore, and everyone is cheating with all these dating apps and all this stuff, and no one's actually putting time and value into the relationships. and
Yes.
and that's the slow takeover of humanity. So we turn into these robot drones, and like that's when the solar flash happens. There'll be no more such thing as cell phones or nothing or any technology, because it's going to make you, force you to work on your spirituality and your own psychic abilities to communicate with each other and actually feel each other.
Yeah.
90% of communication is feeling each other's energies and body language.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
We're
brother,
already
I'm gonna go.
telepathic. Yes. I
Okay,
really
love and
got to
light.
pee.
Okay,
Love
bye.
and light, dude. We'll talk soon.
Goodbye.